Hi, you guys. Welcome back. And of course, if you are new to this channel, welcome. My name is Tracey, and in this video, I'm going to talk to you about spiritual hygiene. So stay tuned. I decided to make this video on spiritual hygiene because I really just needed to remind myself what I needed to do in order to keep my vibration high. Because lately I have been kind of consumed by grief and sadness, and there have also been other kind of stressful things happening in my life, which, it happens. And there are times in our lives where we just become more consumed by the lower energies, the lower vibrations. But as we focus much of our attention in those lower vibrational energies, and the more that we think thoughts that give us those lower vibrational feelings, then the more weak that we are making our system spiritually as well as physically. So if you have realized that lately you may be experiencing these lower, forceful and weakening vibrations that you see on this chart, then this is the perfect video for you. I have actually sat down and thought about the things that I need to reconnect with in my life in order to bring my vibration up higher and into the, into the power. Because as you are living in the weaker vibrations, you're weakening your spirit and weakening your physical body. But as you live more dominantly in the higher vibrations, you are strengthening your spirit and you are strengthening your physical body. So it is very important to take a moment now to look at this chart, to recognize kind of where you are on this chart in, predominantly in your life. Because I do understand we go up and down all the time. But there is generally a predominant vibration that you have been experiencing in your life lately. So you might be wondering, what is spiritual hygiene? And spiritual hygiene is just the idea that you should take some time to cleanse your spirit and to cleanse your mind, just as you do your physical body. So when we're referring to the word hygiene, we're actually referring to any practice that is, conducive to maintaining health and preventing disease, especially through cleanliness. Now, a lot of you may not know this, but disease and ill health is actually really stemming from disharmony or dis-ease in your own thinking. But that's way up in the mental or causal level. So if you begin to do some type of spiritual hygiene practices, these 5 tips that I'll be explaining to you in this video on how you can maintain a high vibration through your spiritual hygiene, then this will actually help you to bring yourself out of the weakening lower vibrations and to rise up into your own power and into your own strength. Now, this also, of course, in time and over practicing these things will also help you with your physical health, because the things that are going on in our mind and in our emotions are eventually manifesting in the physical level by showing up as symptoms and signs in our physical bodies. So now that we know the definition of hygiene, now let's look at the word spiritual. So whenever you hear the word spiritual, that is a word which is relating to or affecting the human spirit or the soul, as opposed to the material or physical things. So spiritual hygiene is actually a way of keeping yourself clean in terms of spirit. So this is going to affect you spiritually. So without further ado, let me offer you 5 tips to maintain spiritual hygiene and to raise your vibration. One of my favorite spiritual hygiene practices is using a sage smudge stick. A sage smudge stick is a bundle of dried white sage, which you can use to cleanse the energy of the space that you want to cleanse, like this room, for instance. But not only can you use sage to cleanse and clear your sacred spaces or rooms of your home, but you can also use sage to cleanse your aura of any negative, unwanted, or blocked energies that may exist there as well. So, similar to using sage in your home environment to cleanse and clear the space, you simply have to light the end of your sage smudge stick. You just let it catch fire a little bit, as you can see. And once you've let it catch fire for a moment, just blow it out. And as you can see, the sage smudge stick is now just smoking. And so when you get it smoking, you simply let it go around your entire physical body. So I go around each of my legs, I go around my torso, I go around my arms, my head, and of course I want to go around in the front as well. And I just kind of focus on any areas of my aura which I believe might need some more cleansing, so to speak. So similar to cleansing your space using a sage smudge stick, you can also use this smudge stick as a spiritual hygiene practice to sage your own aura. And my second tip for having good spiritual hygiene is to soak in a salt bath from time to time. What I like to do is I take the pink Himalayan salt rocks, similar to these that you can see here, and I simply place these in my bath water, and they slowly dissolve because they are salt. But there's also a lot of beneficial minerals and other things in the salt. And it's also good to soak in salt water from time to time, physically. But then spiritually, salt is also a crystal, which actually helps to cleanse and clear energies. So not only are you cleansing your physical body by using the salt bath, you are also cleansing your aura and your energy body, because salt is literally a crystal, which is used very often for cleansing. All right, so let's move on to the third tip for good spiritual hygiene. And my third tip for good spiritual hygiene is to begin to practice gratitude on a daily basis. I know it's the month of November, and so a lot of you might be doing some type of gratitude challenge because Thanksgiving happens in the month of November and things. But I want to also suggest that you extend that practice of a daily gratitude and extend that out to include the rest of the year as well. Gratitude is a great way to focus your mind on all of the many blessings that you have laying before you. I know a lot of times it is easy for our minds to get distracted and for us to begin to focus on only material things. And maybe even like sometimes we focus more on what we want and desire rather than what we have right in front of us. So gratitude is a great way to shift that focus from material desires to the many blessings that you already have. So my suggestion, and what I have suggested in videos in the past, is to do a daily gratitude list. And so to do a daily gratitude list, all you would have to do is get a notebook and a pen and write down 10 things that you are grateful for each and every day. My sentence looks something like, I am so thankful for my husband, Neil, because he is my best friend and he also is my support system and helps me when I need it emotionally. I mean, that was kind of long, but if you know what I mean, I'm not only saying I'm thankful for blank, I'm saying I'm thankful for blank because blank. So if you would like to do a gratitude list similar to the way I've practiced my own gratitude lists, then make sure to list 10 things you are grateful for and why. And once you're completed with your daily list, simply read over your list. And at the very end, just say and feel the feelings of gratitude and say, thank you, thank you, thank you. And that's it. So gratitude is a perfect way to help boost your spiritual hygiene when you practice gratitude on a daily basis. Now let's move on to the fourth tip for spiritual hygiene. And my fourth tip for maintaining good spiritual hygiene is to take on a daily meditation practice. I won't spend too much time on this topic because I do talk about it a lot. But if you've seen a lot of my videos, then you know that meditation helps in so many ways, especially when it comes to understanding the thoughts that come through your mind. And the more that you can observe and understand your thoughts, then the more that you can control and just kind of slow your mind and still your mind. And the more your mind can become calm and still, like the top of a lake that is not being disturbed, then the more you can hear those little whispers of God, similar to just a leaf falling on top of that lake, causing small ripples. Now, if your mind is not still and calm, then it's more like a lake that's very choppy. And if a leaf fell on a very choppy lake, you wouldn't be able to see those little ripples. Therefore, you wouldn't be able to hear those little whispers. So meditation can benefit you similar to, I hope that you kind of get what I'm trying to say with that lake analogy there. But it's going to help you still your mind, and that will help you in so many other ways, especially even just working with these other spiritual hygiene techniques. So now let's move on to my fifth tip for good spiritual hygiene. And finally, my last tip for good spiritual hygiene is to practice affirmations. Affirmations are a great way to reprogram your thinking into a more positive and well-balanced way of thinking. Now, the way that affirmations work is you're actually trying to program your own mind with the thoughts that you want your mind to be programmed with, rather than unconsciously living in these negative and lower vibrations. So if you practice daily affirmations, over time, you'll begin to realize that your thinking becomes more positive. It becomes more in line with what you've been affirming day after day. Affirmations are very easy. You can write them yourself or you can look them up. But basically, when you're reciting affirmations, it's kind of like a mantra. You want to start your affirmations with the words, I am, because then you are identifying with these traits that you are about to state. So you can come up with whatever affirmations you want. But for instance, you could say, I am loving and kind. Now, since it's like a mantra, you're going to want to repeat this over and over and multiple times throughout your day. You can repeat the affirmations either silently in your head, or you can repeat the affirmations out loud. I really love repeating affirmations out loud because not only are you thinking those words, but you're forming the words with your mouth. Not only that, but you're hearing the words once again with your own ears. So I am loving and kind. I am loving and kind. I am loving and kind. So you can repeat your affirmations as you lay in bed before you go to sleep, as well as when you first wake up in the morning. And that way you're actually programming your mind even faster, because as you sleep, your conscious mind is actually communicating with your subconscious mind. So therefore, anything that you repeat to yourself, especially right before falling asleep or right before waking up, is actually kind of like fast tracking your mental programming. That's why you should never go to bed angry. But instead, you should go to bed reciting the affirmations, I am loving and kind, or whatever affirmation that you want to recite. So you can either watch some of my previous affirmation videos to get ideas on how affirmations work, and kind of what kind of affirmations that you want to repeat to yourself, or you can write your very own affirmations. So in the end, I created this list of 5 tips for good spiritual hygiene to try to help myself pull myself out of these lower vibrational feelings that I have been experiencing simply too much of lately. I don't know if it's just what's been happening in my own personal life, as well as what's been happening kind of on a global scale. But, I just feel like a lot of people are probably experiencing these lower negative vibrations as well. So I hope that you decide to use a tip or two from my list to try to increase your vibration, to get into your own personal power and start to feel better again. Well, that about wraps it up for this video. So if you like this video, be sure to click that like button. And of course, if you're a viewer but not yet a subscriber, I would love for you to click subscribe right below this video. And once you've subscribed, you can then click the bell to be notified each and every time that I upload a new video. Thank you guys so much for watching and spending your time with me. I love you. And I'll see you next time. Bye.